I see we have some people joining us. Welcome, everybody. We're going to wait a few moments as everyone comes on the call. You are welcome to add into the chat below where you are joining us from. We would love to hear where all of our members are located and the time zones that they're in. I myself am here in San Diego. I know Denise is in Florida, so we are cross country today. I see we have a few people popping in. Rhode Island, welcome. Panama City Beach, welcome. Texas, Toronto, fantastic. We are North America. We are continent wide now. We've got Mobile, Alabama. We've got Cape Town, South Africa. Incredible. Welcome, welcome everybody. Chicago, Maui, welcome. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to get started in just a few moments. We're waiting for all of our attendees to come on to the call today. We've just asked that you put in the chat where you are joining us from. We would love to know where you will be watching our webinar from today. New Jersey, welcome New Jersey. We've got New York City. Maybe not New York City, but we've got New York. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here with us, to spend your morning or your early afternoon, wherever you might be. We've got some people outside of North America joining us, so I'm not sure what time it may be where they are. However, we'll go ahead and get started. So thank you so much for being here for this presentation. Get Real, Understanding Music Licensing in the Fitness Industry with Denise Mbesi, founder and CEO of Vibes Music App and Muscle Mix Music. If you have any questions during this presentation, please enter them into the question box and they will be added to the queue. We'll answer those questions at the end of the presentation. Make sure you have a notebook and pen nearby or that you're taking notes, as we will be doing an exclusive giveaway for everyone who stays on to the end of this webinar, so please stay tuned to the end of the presentation. IDEA is now pleased to welcome Denise Mbesi. Denise is the woman behind the music. In 1988, as a DJ and fitness instructor, she saw a need for pre-mixed music and created Muscle Mix Music. 3 decades since its inception, Denise created Vibes Music, the only fitness music app that offers licensed original music. Vibes houses thousands of new, current, and classic songs by original artists, organized by genre, and the music is updated weekly with new releases. It's specifically designed for fitness professionals like you, allowing users to adjust the tempo of any song, as well as choose songs by beats per minute. Denise, welcome to the webinar. We're really looking forward to learning from you today.
Thank you so much, Madeline, and hi, everybody. I see a few names I recognize. Hi, Karen from Hawaii. It's so nice to be here. My name is Denise Mbesi, CEO and founder of Vibes Music and Muscle Mix Music. And what an honor to be partnering with IDEA. And just every IDEA member gets 50% off of our new Vibes Music app, which features 2 million real songs. Yes, Taylor Swift. By real artists. And you can, on the Vibes app, you can change the tempo, change the beats per minute, and create nonstop DJ style mixes. So we're really excited. Also, I'm going to give you a secret. Everybody who comes here today, if you decide to join by Sunday, end of day Sunday, we're giving away a free, well, actually, IDEA's giving away a free year for anybody who joins for a year. Only $99, you get 2 years. So we'll move on. Well, let's talk about licensing. Yes, I'm going to share my screen. I know licensing can be so complicated, and I'm going to do the best I can to try to make it as clear as possible for you guys. So one moment while I share my screen. All right, we already talked about what this is about. My goal is to help you understand the ins and outs of music licensing and how it can affect you as an instructor. Because music has always been a source of confusion, especially now, since many clubs and individuals have started to go online and are continuing to go online. So it's important to dig in and get a clear understanding of music legality and how that affects you, the fitness professional, personally. So this is important. Why is it important? Number one, you risk fines. Though many will have you believe it's not likely to happen, it can happen. Two, we all have been there, content removal. You run the risk that your content will be taken down or stopped midstream, especially when talking social. It's so hard to work out when you know that you did all that hard work and it comes down. Professionalism. At the end of the day, you're a professional and should do your best to know the law and protect yourself. So let's get this part out of the way, because this is something that this is the overriding umbrella. If you don't own the rights to play the music, you shouldn't be playing the music. You know somebody else is the owner. So think about, if you don't own the rights, whether it's in-person, virtual, live streaming, or on demand, you should not be playing it. So I'm going to clear up some myths and misconceptions right straight out the gate. Look, I know you want to play popular music. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to play popular music? So I know you've been sold a few myths and misconceptions thinking that you're in the clear. So let's debunk those. Number one, and I see this a lot and I laugh, things you wish were true but aren't. Putting a disclaimer on your Facebook post does not make it okay. All right. I have seen this, playing your music at a low volume on Facebook. That still doesn't make it okay. They'll still hear it. There are bots. There are computer generated programs that actually can recognize the music on there. And this is a big one. People will say to me, well, I don't charge for it, or it's a charity. That still doesn't make it okay. All right. So we good? Let's move on. So I like to always say this disclaimer: I'm not an attorney, and any information I provide you with today is compiled from my personal resources and experiences. Also, the music licensing space is ever evolving, ever changing. So whatever I tell you today could be different in just a few months. Keep that in mind. All right. This is where it kind of clears things up, at least in my head. How will you deliver your class determines the type of license required. Music legalese changes based on how you're delivering it, not whether you're charging for your classes or not. All right. So let's go into the difference between in-person versus virtual. There are two types of virtual. There is live streaming. Well, actually, there's three types: live streaming, on demand, and there's social. Okay. Let's define live streaming as one and done. You're broadcasting it. You're broadcasting your class through a source, sort of like Zoom, like we're doing right now. You see them, they see you perhaps, but it's not recorded. That's live streaming. On demand, you're presenting your class, you're pressing the record button, and it's saved for viewing later. And we all know what social media is, right? All right, this is an interesting little chart. And this is the very top part kind of gives you an idea of how you determine who's responsible. And it's based, let's start with in person. You as the instructor, who's responsible when you teach a class in person? It's the physical location. So you don't have to worry about it as an instructor. This is what we've been doing for years, right? You show up, the gym or the boutique studio or the church or whatever, they take care of what's called a public performance license. They pay an annual fee, you teach your class, and you leave. You're not employed by them, or even if you are, you're not responsible. Okay, that's an easy one. I think we all know that one. So let's go to, I'm going to jump to social for just a minute, because this is the one where people get confused. If I'm doing the teaching, isn't that similar to teaching in person? Isn't it the responsibility of Facebook? The answer is yes. Facebook, Instagram, we're just going to focus on those two for just a moment. They're responsible because they're sort of like the gym. They pay their fee, but they do not have contracts with labels and publishers that allow you to go on and play music on their site. So that's why they'll flag you or take you down, because they don't have that in place. Okay. Sometimes I know it's a little gray, not always. Sometimes it can stay up, but most of the time they will take you down, with the exception of reels All right. Instagram Reels, similar to TikTok, they do have contracts with the record labels and publishers. So you can most of the time use any song for Instagram Reels and YouTube. I'm sorry, and TikTok. Okay. I know this is so confusing. YouTube is sort of like the gray area because it kind of it depends. YouTube, in some cases, they'll take you down. Other cases, they'll flag you, and I know a lot of you have seen this because I see them all the time. It'll say, sorry, we'll keep your content up, but you won't be able to monetize the video. So if you don't want to monetize, then it doesn't matter. You can use commercial music, you can use anything you want. YouTube's gray though. I don't want to make a blanket statement that you could use anything you want because there's a gray area. And here's why. Sometimes YouTube has deals, sometimes they don't. Sometimes their bot will catch you, sometimes it won't. And I've seen it so many different ways. All right. So what do? We highly recommend that you purchase royalty-free music, which is music that is not familiar. You should be safe in most cases for all social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, with the exception of TikTok and Reels. Good? Okay, hopefully you're good. And I'm sure you're gonna have a million questions at the end here. Let's go to live streaming. Live streaming is, the responsibility is you, the individual instructor, because you are presenting the class. Now, I wrote here, it's unclear. And by the way, Madeline, if you want, I can give a screenshot of this page. This is a really valuable page. And if you want, we can give that out to everybody. I'm saying it's unclear because I've heard different things from different, both lawyers and record labels, that I've heard that you can just play any music you want if you're not recording it, all right, for a live stream class. That's what I've mostly heard. That seems to be the general consensus by most people. But I don't want to be the one to go on record just saying it's 100% yes, correct, okay? So check with your attorney, check with ASCAP BMI and see what they say, okay? Now, the one I do know about is on demand. It is your responsibility as the individual instructor or the owner of a gym or anybody who's recording an on-demand class. As I said earlier, on-demand means you have the class, you're in a studio or something, you record it, and you play it. You allow your students to watch it later. You are going to need what's called a synchronization license, which means the music is in sync with the video. And that is a negotiated fee with both the record label and the publisher. It's quite expensive. It's cost prohibitive. It's complex. I don't recommend it. You can go to someone like us, Vibes Music. We do have plans available for both popular music for on demand as well as royalty-free music. All right. So we can help you. Don't try to figure that out on your own. If you're really trying to scale your business and you want to be professional and get on there and make a living by having passive income from your on-demand classes, I strongly recommend against using familiar music without getting a license. Okay. All right, I know there's a lot to take in. So again, who's responsible? Let me just do a quick recap. In person, physical location is responsible. You should be able to use any music as the instructor, okay? Social, the social platform is responsible, and they all have different rules. Facebook and Instagram, most likely you'll be taken down. YouTube, it's gray. Instagram Reels and TikTok, nope, shouldn't be a problem. Live streaming, unclear, but most people are saying it's okay. On demand, absolutely do not use popular music or anything familiar unless you have the license. Cool? I know I'm not gonna ask questions later. So let's keep going. We talked about all this. This is kind of what we just talked about. I'm just gonna jump right through it. So review, the ramifications are, again, you risk fines, possible fines, or your content gets taken down. And again, as I said, if you're really serious about your business and being a fitness professional, you want to do the right thing to protect yourself, so that all that hard work doesn't go out the window. And, you know, it's happened. I mean, I've seen it happen time and time again. Big companies that started out small saying, it's okay, and then they get sued. i.e. Peloton. They started out that way. Everybody knows that, it's public knowledge. They were sued $175 million. They probably didn't know when they started out it was going to go that way. So hopefully this helped clear things up. Remember, with Vibes Music, we have a wonderful app, and we're partnering with IDEA, gives you that 50% off. So I'm always open for questions, either today or later. You can give them hello@musclemixes.com as the email to contact. I love talking about music licensing because I know how helpful it is to all of you guys. And I answer a lot of questions on a regular basis. So hopefully that helped. That's all
Great.
I got.
Thank you, Denise. We do have some questions from the audience that I would love to open up,
Great.
open the floor to. So I will go ahead and read some of those. And if you listening here on the call today consider, some other things as you're hearing the answers to these questions, please put those follow-up questions in the chat. We will get to those. We have plenty of time. What is the number one takeaway that fitness professionals should know about music licensing?
I think the number one takeaway would be, if you're in person, you're usually safe. I'm going to give you two takeaways. Is that okay? The
Yes.
second one is just be careful with social media. I wouldn't even, social media is a free kind of a gimme. You're just giving your content away. So don't risk that by using a popular song on social. TikTok's already set up, so you're good there. But with the other ones, I wouldn't risk it.
Thank you. What is the first step that a club or a studio manager or a fitness professional, I mean, those are kind of three different levels, but if you could address them all, what is the first step that they should take to comply with music licensing in the facility?
So in the United States, and every country is slightly different, but in the United States, we have ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, that all three need to be paid for playing music in a public place. It's called a public performance license. Those organizations are very aggressive. They don't have a great reputation in terms of how they're working with fitness facilities. It's getting better, but the first step is to call them and really, or you can go online and just, it's really, I should say it's not that expensive, but it's in the hundreds, not thousands. So if you're a facility and you have music playing, if you're a hair salon and you have music playing, you're responsible as a facility to pay that public performance license.
Got it. Can Vibes be used for social media? Does it have that capacity at this time, or maybe in the future?
Maybe in the future, but not right now. No.
Okay. So these following questions are from people in the chat, and I'm seeing that there's some more. So we'll just get to as many as we can, Denise.
Sure, no problem.
If you're at a gym and you record your session and you post it, are you liable?
So you're at a gym, you're the instructor, you record it with a video, I'm assuming, and then you post it, I'm assuming, on social media.
I'm assuming the same.
Okay. Again, it's up to yes, you are liable. Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. This question comes from South Africa. They say, I'm in South Africa working for a big gym chain. Should we pay for license-free music for our contract instructors, or do they pay it themselves?
So I don't know the rules of South Africa, but I believe they're similar to the United States and Canada because it's mostly across the board pretty similar, the public performance license. As a South African facility, you are responsible for having that music play in your facility. So the answer is you're responsible, whether they're employed or contracted. You are responsible. The only time the fitness professional is responsible, as we said earlier, is if you're teaching on demand or live stream, virtual.
Got it. The next question is, why can't an individual, and maybe they can, pay ASCAP fees on their own?
Remember, the ASCAP fee is for playing music in a public place. That's what it's for. So if you're a restaurant, a hair salon, a gym, any physical place is responsible. So when you ask why can't a fitness professional, it's because it doesn't matter who the person is, it's the location. It's the ears that are listening to the music in that space. Hope that helps answer that.
The next is, if you're an in-person instructor and getting paid, are you still okay to use familiar music? And I'm not sure what the viewer is referring to in familiar music, but take that as you will, Denise. Help
Yeah.
that person.
No, I'm glad you're using the word familiar, because that's the way I always say it. I always say unfamiliar and familiar, because because we can't say on the radio anymore, because there isn't people don't really listen to the radio that much anymore. And we can't say top 40 because it's all over the place. So the answer is yes, you can play any music for in-person classes, provided the facility is paying a public performance license, which most of them are. I mean, back in the 80s when we started, it was like, what? We have to do what? But nowadays, most everybody, and they very proudly put the sticker on the front of their gym, because they're paying it, so they must show you that they're paying it. So
Yeah, absolutely. A couple more questions from the audience.
okay.
Can vibes be used for on demand? And I think we touched on this just briefly, and we'll send out that chart for everyone to have when we send the recorded version of the webinar to everyone. But can vibes be used for on demand?
Yes, but not at the $99 a year price. We have a special set of pricing depending on certain factors. So email hello@musclemixes.com. I'm happy to price that out for you. We need to have you fill out an input form, and we'll get you. Yeah, we have quite a few. We have some about we have quite a few individuals that are doing their own video on demand, and they're using Vibes, and then we have some gyms doing it as well, who are using it for on demand. So the answer is yes, but not at the price point that we offer, that I've mentioned earlier, the $99. And
Great.
by the way, I do want to point one thing out.
Yeah.
Our Vibes app, this is important, at the moment is only licensed for US and Canada. And almost everything I talked about is mostly applies to US, Canada. I have a fairly good understanding of the other countries, but they are slightly different. Everybody's a little different.
Great. And Denise, that email is hello@vibes or muscle.
Hello@musclemixes.com. Yeah. Yeah, because Vibes is a brand that is powered by Muscle Mix Music. So yeah, there it is. Hello at
Alrighty.
musclemixes.com. Yeah,
I put that
I mean, this is great.
Great. I put that in the chat for everyone. Couple more questions. What
Sure.
are this woman asked, Jessica asks, what are your thoughts on paying CCLI for licensing? Are you familiar with CCLI?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. What is that? Can you spell that out? I've never heard of
I'm
that
not
one.
sure. It looks like an acronym, CCLI.
Never heard that one.
The next question is from Melissa. How are DJs able to play copyrighted music on social media? Do you have any insight on that? Maybe it's not your area of expertise.
That's a great question. They do it mostly on Twitch, I believe. That's a really great question. It's not really my area of expertise, but what I believe is happening, they're probably doing it through, if you probably have seen it mostly on YouTube. Oh, someone wrote Instagram and TikTok. Okay, yeah. So Instagram Reels, no problem. TikTok, no problem. On Instagram, you can only post a video for a short period of time. I would imagine they're taking it down. I'm not familiar with that. So Twitch, I believe, has some contracts in place. DJs play on Twitch and get muted. All right, somebody wrote that. Yeah. So I don't know everything,
Yeah.
but
Well, I
these are great questions.
I
Yeah.
agree. I was in an F45 class
Yeah.
the other day, and they had a live DJ come and play Dua Lipa, Lady Gaga, all of the pop stars and hits, and just kind
Okay.
of their different mixes. And I was wondering about that, if the DJ playing, his own original mixes of these songs, does is that included in this topic area, or a little bit separate?
If you're talking about an F45
Sure. So if you were
or
to,
in person, in
yeah,
person.
have an in-person DJ at your fitness class, what would that be
Yeah,
like?
no, they just have to pay they have to pay public performance for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So ICCLI from a lawyer. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Never heard of that one. Hmm.
No problem. It doesn't appear that we have any follow-up questions, but I wanted to ask Denise,
Yes.
how can IDEAfit members access Vibes either monthly or annual licenses?
All right. So we have a link, right?
Hmm.
They have to go to, in order to do that, normally it's $19.99 a month or $199 a year. But as an IDEA member, it's $9.99 a month. Great price, or $99 a year. And if you're on this webinar, you get an extra year free, which is amazing if you join before Sunday. Do you have that actual link? You want to put that in there?
I do, Denise, and I would be happy to share. I will recap what that giveaway is for everyone in just a moment. We are also
Sure.
going to give away, is it five
Mm-hmm. Five
monthly
one five
subscriptions?
1 year, one
Oh,
year. Yep.
1 year for everyone here. So we're going to pick randomly five people from this webinar to receive a 1 year membership through the Vibes Through Idea.
Yep.
Before we wrap up our presentation, is there anything else that you'd like to add or to answer before we go today?
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to
Oh,
you.
you're talking to me. You're talking to me. I am so happy to, my goal has always been to help the fitness professional understand music licensing as best as possible. It gets very complicated, but more than understand, I've been working with, we work directly with Universal Music, and this is a project I've been working on for 2 years. We're really excited to roll this out too because we want to get them. We want the artists to be aware that the fitness industry is a serious business, and there's a lot of exposure to music that you may not hear about any other place. I mean, if you're not going out to clubs or you're not listening to the radio, where are you going to hear new music? So we oftentimes are discovering music through fitness, and that's really exciting for me to be able to bring this to the industry. So that's about it. If you ever have any questions, please, I'm always available to help out.
That's such a valuable point, and I just wanted to add from Idea's perspective, our main mission is to empower fitness professionals through the tools and resources that they need to be successful, and to also legitimize the fitness industry on a global level. We do a lot of work with organizations and associations of fitness professionals globally. Our CEO and owner, Amy, is pioneering those efforts through World Active, and all of the partnerships, including the one that we have with Vibes, are designed to help fitness professionals get the tools and resources that they need to just run a successful fitness
Yeah,
business, whether as a fitness professional working in a box gym or a solopreneur, doing virtual classes and having their own brand. So we
right.
are incredibly grateful for the partnership that we have with you, Denise, and we are really looking forward to what we can do in the future together.
I
Um,
am too. It's so
again,
exciting.
I want to thank everybody for being on the webinar today. To stay in contact with her, you can email hello@musclemixes.com. I'll make sure that when we email everyone the recap of this webinar with the recorded version, that you are able to access that email address and contact her. The winners of our giveaway who stayed on with us
Ooh,
for the last 30 minutes include Amy Stafford, Melissa Wogan,
wow.
Valerie James, Cecilia Brantley, Karen Watanabe, and Stephanie Lee.
Wow. Good
So
pronunciation.
we will connect with all of you and make sure that you receive the access that you need to get your 1 year free. And as a reminder, with your purchase of a 1 year subscription of Vibes through your IDEA membership at a $99 value, we'll give you the second year free. You can access your
Woo.
free year at www.ideafit.com/music licensing. Make sure that you're logged in and navigate to the sign up now button. You'll see that on the web page, on the landing homepage. This offer is only valid until 11:59 p.m. Sunday night, April 28th. So don't miss your chance to take advantage of it.
Very
Thank you
excited.
again, Denise, for all of your time.
This was so great. Thank you so much, Madeline. I love working with IDEA, and I'm really happy to looking forward to working with all of you as well.
Absolutely. And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us today. We will send you, as I mentioned, the recording of this presentation soon.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
day. Thank you.